Up to this point, everything has been preparation. Your structure had to bear force without collapse. Your muscles had to fire in the correct order. Your connective systems had to transmit load cleanly. Your nervous system had to allow clear expression. Your eyes had to learn to read movement without distortion. All of that mattered. And none of it changes the final truth. The fight is not decided by what you can do. It is decided by what physics allows you to get away with. This chapter exists to expose laws that govern every movement, whether you acknowledge them or not. These laws do not adapt to your intent. They do not reward effort. They do not care about style, lineage, or belief. They are already acting on you. Gravity doesn't wait for readiness. Inertia doesn't respond to willpower. Balance is not a pose you can achieve and hold. It is a condition you must manage continuously. If Chapter 1 through 5 built your body and sharpened your perception, Chapter 6 constrains them. This is where movement stops being expressive and becomes accountable. In combat, force is not created at the moment of impact. It is accumulated, redirected, resisted, and paid for over time. Every step carries your body's full mass. Every turn carries your rotational cost. Every strike borrows stability from somewhere else in the system. Chapter 6 begins by making one fact unavoidable. Force has consequences before intention ever arrives. Inertia resists change, and mass prefers to continue what it's already doing. Every acceleration, deceleration, or redirection is a negotiation with inertia. This is why rush movement feels heavy, why sloppy transition drains energy faster than they should, why some fast fighters still feel slow even in close range. They're not weak. They're fighting inertia poorly. And this is where understanding brings relief rather than paralysis. When rules are known, effort stops being wasted fighting what cannot be changed. Balance follows the same law. Every movement is a controlled fall. When structure, sequencing, and continuity do not support that direction, physics collects the payment immediately, often as a stumble, a loss of base, or a wasted action. Chapter 6 removes that illusion that balance is something you achieve once. It's something you manage moment by moment. Rotation exposes this without mercy. Torque amplifies force. It also amplifies error. Once rotation begins, angular momentum wants to continue until something stops it. Misalignment turns power into instability, and timing errors compound quickly. This chapter does not teach rotation. It teaches respect for it. Ground reaction forces make this unavoidable. Every strike presses into the ground first. The ground responds according to the alignment loading and the return path. When the path is clean, force rises through the system and contributes to the output. When it is not, force dissipates into joints, tissues, and wasted effort. The ground is not optional. It is the first negotiation. Chapter 6 exists to show that effort does not create power. Alignment with physical laws do. This is why technique can look perfect and still fail. Why conditioning cannot rescue poor mechanics. Why trying harder often makes outcomes worse. Physics does not punish the lack of will. It exposes the lack of alignment. The warrior scholar does not fight these laws. They arrange themselves within them. They reduce unnecessary acceleration to avoid battling inertia. They manage deceleration deliberately. They respect rotational costs. And they preserve balance by anticipating force before it arrives. Chapter 6, Part 1 is not about gaining an advantage. It's about inevitability. Before strategy exists, before tactics emerge, before choices matter, your body is already obeying laws that do not bend. Understanding those laws does not make you stronger. It makes you honest. And honesty is the prerequisite for control. This is only the first half, because once the laws are understood, a different question becomes unavoidable. If physics governs everything, how do skilled practitioners survive and even use these constraints without being crushed by them? That is where part 2 begins.